everyone. Welcome to Conversations with Miss T, and that is me. I had a conversation with Masindi. Masindi and I went to the same high school. We were not really close in high school, but we had mutual friends. We also had this conversation the day before her birthday. So I just want to say happy birthday to you. So Masindi is currently teaching at the very same school right now. So I just want to say, Masindi, that I see you, I recognize you, I'm very proud of you. So shout out, girl. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that you enjoy this. So my
Okay.
table is full of things that's not like things that are not supposed to be on that table. So now I'm struggling to find like the proper space, man. So that's why you see me climbing on things to climb on things to get to Okay, remote. Punjan,
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Busy but good.
I'm glad you're good. It's good to see you. Yo, it's been like forever.
How long has it been?
Yo, forever.
Well, you still look good.
Thank you. You also still look good.
Are you a little bit nervous about this?
I am, because I've never done it before. So yeah, I'm a bit nervous.
Okay, cool. Just like keep your eyes on me. As time goes on, you'll even forget this thing is recorded.
Yeah, I hope
How
so.
how was the wedding? I saw the photos. Beautiful.
Oh, Lorato's wedding. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
Yo, bekukuhle nabo bebabahle. Like it was beautiful.
that's
It was nice.
nice. And I
It was
mean,
nice.
I haven't seen Uneli in a long, long time. How is she?
She's fine. Uyazifihla. She doesn't like social media for some odd reason. So she's not on Instagram, on Facebook. You can only just find her on WhatsApp, but she's fine.
Yeah, I don't blame her. I get it. I think that
She's
if I wasn't pushing on my side, I would probably just
keep it on the low too.
yeah. It gets to that
But
point.
at least have accounts nyana where people can access you. Yabo?
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing.
It helps also, to keep your circle small.
Ne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maratina
Yeah.
siya papa. We like things, so we show up Instagram. We're everywhere. Okay. I don't want to talk about this now, but I want to talk about it at some point. The fact that you organized, was it a career fair?
Yes.
Or maybe let's talk about that and then we'll get personal later.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I started teaching high school now, like this year.
Okay.
So then what I've noticed is that most of the kids never feel grade 10. They're like, okay, you know what? I don't want science anymore. Or even grade 11. They're like, okay, now I want to switch. I'm a stream. I want to go to tourism because I feel like tourism is much easier and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a problem because you need a foundation, isn't it? From grade 10, 11, and 12. So it's a problem when they get to tourism and you don't know any of the content that they were teaching in grade 10. So we thought, okay, maybe we should just have like a subject choice career/career day thing, so that you can just help them with, okay, in science, this is what happens. You choose the stream, you go this route and whatnot. So I decided to get like a few people from the same school so that they can relate more. So
Yeah.
that was just fun. That was nice. They enjoyed, and yeah, I hope they made the right choices.
And I mean, your selection was just like so mind-blowing for me. I'm like, you picked people that I actually know, and I was so excited about it. Like the whole thing was such an incredible idea. So who went first? Was it Desire or Mfojo? Who went first?
Because initially now it's COVID. So they come in two groups. So we have group A and group B. So for group A, I think it was Desire, Fortune, Mfojo, no Ritumates. Ritumates came back for the second one. So I actually wanted people who did accounting, like your traditional stream, accounting, science, and your general, besides the ones that Abbas Edile manje. So I thought it would be great to get like Desire. Desire is a male nurse, so he will just, I know he's good at this, and he was one of the top students,
Yeah.
And then decided to get Fortune. Fortune did the science, but decided to venture into something else different. So we wanted to have that angle too. It's okay. You can also do this, but you can also do something else when you're done.
Yeah.
And then Ritumeti chartered accountant. So don't just say Ritumeti CA. SA.
Yes,
I
okay.
think that's how you
Levels.
say it. So yeah, Ritumeti was representing the science stream, and because I did the general, so I could speak more about it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so let's start. Yeah, you carry on.
The second day it was Uritumete only with accounting. Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with Desire, because when I asked him to come onto Conversations with Missy, he was like, "Oh, I'm a bit shy, I don't like crowds and stuff like that." And then he goes on and does your thing. So, like, how was he on stage? Was he nervous? What did he say?
He says he was nervous, but yeah, everybody that was there was like, "Yo, that guy was so good." But I was like, because he told me, and he was like, "Yo, he has good public speaking." I'm like, "Please, yeah,
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Okay, I'll come." But he was so good, well spoken. Even like he gave it good points. I believe he gave it good points, and like it was perfect.
But what stood out from what he said? I know he probably said a lot of good things, but what stood out for you?
That it's possible. Like how he shared his journey with, okay, I mean, I'm from Villa Lisa, we have kids from Villa Lisa, like I feel like they could relate to him. It's really possible. It doesn't mean it's okay, we and whatnot, I can't get to the level that the next person is at,
Right.
So yeah, I feel like all of the speakers, that's what one thing it's really possible. Plus, coming from our school, like our school doesn't have like all the resources that you could wish you could have as a teacher or as a learner. So like it's possible. Coming from a school like this, you can still do it and whatnot. So that one, it stood out for me.
Yeah. I mean, we're also products of Ikresland, you and I. Yeah. Okay. And then Fortune, was he as funny as he usually is?
Yes. Funny enough, like most of the learners came to me, "Can I please have his numbers? Can I please have his numbers?" Plus, Shasha's Nepe is doing very well. So then Gubanje was like starstruck and whatnot.
Right. Yeah.
So, the boys are like those who are trying to venture into music and whatnot, "Can you please have Shasha's numbers and whatnot?" So I'm like, okay. But yeah, they really enjoyed it.
What did he say? I know you said all the speakers mentioned that it's possible, you start from zero and then, you eventually get to a point where you want to get at. But what did he say specifically that stood out?
He talked about how his mom always wanted him to do science. He spoke about most of, like I was watching the conversation that you had with him.
Oh, you watched it? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching it. So he spoke about most of the things that you guys actually spoke about. But okay, he didn't want to do science and whatnot. And then he also shared his journey, how he started, exactly what he was just telling you. So yeah, it's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
It was
I did.
You need to have something to fall back on, So yeah.
You picked up on the conversation that we had with him that I had to apologize because in high school, we thought we were such much because we were doing well. And then now the roles have like reversed and Mshasha's doing well and he has all this respect and all that stuff. And then I look at him now and I'm like, what was I thinking? Who did I think I was? Thinking was it just because, he was at a point that he was at that time, that he wouldn't turn around and make his life better. And, I mean,
Mm,
he's
mm,
making like a good guap. He's influencing people. He came to your school. He came onto my show. He influenced me. Like the things that he said to me, I was just like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Oh, wow, okay. So it was a very educational moment.
I really felt bad with when he talked about the magazine, the student magazine,
Yeah.
and when you said he was part of the press team and whatnot. So we were actually the press team at high school, right? Because we created the gazette and whatnot and whatnot. And like they didn't credit me. I'm like, they didn't credit me. What's this?
So with you guys.
Oh my goodness, we didn't credit really. Like I'm trying to remember that. Did we really not credit him? But yeah, I really felt bad. It was okay. Like, okay, I don't remember, but
Right.
hey, sorry. But yeah, he's doing well. Like I'm so happy for him. He is.
Yeah, I'm happy, Masindi. I'm not the only one that had to apologize to him. Now we're in the same boat, bro. Okay, and the other lady, I don't know her.
I think was like 2 grades below us.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, because I also left early. Like I left in end of grade 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did she say that kind of stood out for you?
That one was just on point. I loved how she shared her story, her background, during Magafunda, how she also thought, she was one of the top students at school, and when she got to varsity, how tough it was, how they would sleep in library and whatnot when she didn't have money, and her parents were also not that well and whatnot. So it was really personal. I feel like it came really from a very, very deep place. But she's used to this because I think she does this every now and then. So then you could tell like she's one person that is used to it.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah.
And you were also one of the speakers. I did not know that. What did you say that you feel might have made an impact in the students' lives?
Whenever I tell my students that I actually went like to the very same school that I'm teaching right now, the very same seats I was sitting there, they're like, you never, how? Why? I'm like, yeah, I used to sit there. And remember, Moyo was my maths literacy teacher and whatnot. They don't believe me, and I'm like, why don't you believe me? Like, okay, the school that we are at, and we feel like it's just one of those schools and whatnot. I'm like, no, the very same situation that you might be in, I was in, because I could relate more, because my background is not that good from home, it is okay and whatnot. We've had our ups and downs and whatnot. So I could relate to them. And so I wanted something different. It's okay, not Jala, our teachers going to give us motivation and whatnot. So getting everybody around to go to okay, because guys, let's talk to these kids.
Yeah. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and Naye, he's giving back to the community and stuff like that. And he asked me, he said, how did you get to a point, to where you are and stuff? Who's the person that, played a big role? And I'm like, no, I had multiple people that played a big role in my life. But then I told him about this, because when I left Graceland, I went to Jameson High School. When we were in Jameson High School, we had this former drug addict guy who, drug addict and drug dealer, who came and spoke to us and told us, like, from the moment he started taking drugs to the point where, you know, he had to quit, and how his life just like, it was good at first and then just turned upside down and it almost died and all of that. So because the story was personal, for him, and he was sharing it from, like, you know, the bottom of his heart, and he was very genuine about it, I think that's the reason why I stayed off drugs, you know. So we look at, and also there was another teacher, a geography teacher. I loved her. She also spoke to us about relationships and stuff, and she said, if you can find a guy and say, mhlawumbe you were river trekking for days and you're dirty and you haven't had a bath and you don't look so good, and he looks at you and says, I love you, and that's how you know that you found like a, you know, a person that is genuinely into you, something along those lines, man. And I remembered that. So those, like, I'm saying this because I want you to know that these talks do stick, maybe not the whole thing, you know, but these moments do stick, and they've stuck for me as well. The talks that I received, that we received at school, did stick with me. What am I saying? Yes,
Yeah.
they stuck with me.
Yes. It makes sense.
Yeah. And tell me, has assembly been cancelled as well? You guys no longer have assembly.
No, we
Why?
don't. I don't know. I don't know. I think it was because of this COVID thing. I think since from then, like, we've never had the assembly.
And do you think post-COVID, then you'll go back to having assembly?
I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so.
Why? Why are you hoping for that?
I feel like the assembly is what brought us together as learners at some point, you know? And like, I remember most of my assembly moments, you know, more ungula, what was happening in class. I remember who would sing. I remember Olerato would sing his song and everybody would be like, wow, Olerato can sing. I remember how Romeo would just go there and preach,
yes,
you know. Like, I enjoyed it. Like, and I feel like the learners would also enjoy it. And coming from, before I went to Graceland, I was teaching at a Christian school, you know, so every Friday we had like praise and worship and whatnot. I saw how Abantwana would actually enjoy it, you know, and I feel like they deserve it. Everybody deserves that type of experience once. Good high school life, yeah, or in your entire school life. That's it. Yeah.
Because I also remember, assembly as a student. I also remember assembly as a teacher when I was teaching at Tutuli State. I enjoyed it as a student. Like you said, the singing, you know, like, you know, the African songs that we would sing, it would just unify us. It was great, man. It was fun. It was like how long was it? 10 minutes? 10 minutes of just like, it was really refreshing. And then I remember it as a teacher. And as a teacher, it was really hard work because we wanted it to be so orderly. It was really extreme on what we wanted in our school, because we wanted students to stand in one line according to the grades. And I get where all of that is coming from, but it kind of did suck the life out of it, you know, for teachers, so to speak. Because, you know, you're telling a kid to move 2 steps to the left, and the kid is just like, what difference is it going to make? You know? And so now here you are having this back and forth about moving 2 steps, and it just messes up the whole moment. But I remember that we also enjoyed it. Like, we had good moments when we had like speakers come to speak to students when the students were singing, or we were celebrating something and it was being announced during assembly. So I really enjoyed it. And I'm still trying to figure out why exactly do they want to cancel assemblies in schools? I don't know. I thought that you might know. I don't know why.
I think it's also because of the, you know, how we should include other religions at school, because probably they feel like, okay, assembly is focusing on one religion, you know, because really, like, come to think of it, esikolweni vele, it was that, you know, it's not like if you're going to read the Bible in assembly, might as well read the Quran, you know, might as well read the other books for other religious groups. So I think that's in most public schools with Tiba, they avoiding that. I think that is why. Because with the previous school, it's different because it's a Christian school. So obviously we're going to read the Bible, we're going to sing songs about Jesus and praise and whatnot. But then in public schools where you have like over 1,000 learners nakhona futhi, mina githi sisonta sama Muslim. So what about me? What happens to me when it's assembly time? Because I don't believe in whatever that you are doing there, you know, or minagiti, like it's African, whatnot. We don't believe in whatever that the Bible is saying, or, you know. So I think it's just those dynamics.
Okay. Well, let's see how it unfolds. I could understand the way that you're phrasing it. I could understand because I'm trying to picture myself being placed as a Christian, being placed in a non-Christian assembly and being forced to go there every morning. I don't think that I would really enjoy that. But as a Christian, I did enjoy it. I think, yeah. So what are the challenges? When we were talking on Messenger, you said, you know, it's not that easy and you were going through your own things. Like, what are the challenges that you're experiencing in an under-resourced, underprivileged school?
I feel like my switch was very sudden, you know, because I switched immediately from a very good private school that has everything that you would want as a teacher, you know, very good resources, you know, you have your internet, your whiteboard, your smart boards, everything is there, like everything that you need is there. And then you go to a school like ours, where you still have to use chalk to write on the chalkboard and the duster
and you stain your clothes and you don't have enough desks and chairs. Yeah.
You know, so my lessons are very limited, you know, especially when it comes, I teach English grade 9s, the whole grade 9 bafundiswa. So lesson yami limited. There's a time where I want to play maybe a short clip, and I say, okay, please identify this and this and this in this clip, or maybe play the clip and then answer the questions. You understand? There's a time where I want to do like a listening, and there's a time where abantwana kumele bapresente, you know, I want it in a specific way. Right now we're doing a literature project. They had to present like your time capsules, your PowerPoints and whatnot. We couldn't do that. So I had to, with me, structure that entire project to fit whatever that we have. You know, when I say, okay, please go print this out. Like there are learners at my school, like, you know, so how do I expect that type of learner to go and print out whatever that I want for my research? If I say, go and research about this and this and this, you find that no one has a smartphone at home. You know, so how do I even help that learner? You find ukuthi nati asinayo lab. It's not okay. You can go to the lab and research about this, or you can go print out whoopie. You know, we don't. Our library is not working. So I can't say go to the library lana ufune incwadi uzothola kumele bagibele taxi and whatnot. So all of those logistics nje ukuthi okay, our kids, most of them, they come from a unprivileged background, and then our school is also not helping. So it was really frustrating. You know, it was really frustrating for me because I had to make it work. You know, I had to make it work for them. I had to make it work for me too. So it was a bit of a challenge. Plus, considering what's being go print out like 10 pages of this and this and this, and then tomorrow they come with it. It's done, you know, and then we move on. So yeah, it was that transition, and also introducing new things. at a new school, especially at school where you have
I
old
know.
people.
I know. The older teachers look at you and go like,
Why not?
Yeah.
So that one is also like it's also a challenge. You have to fight a way through it. It's happening one way or another. It's happening. Even with the career that we had, teachers that I approach, okay, guys, I'm thinking that we should do this. They're young teachers, and then they're like, okay, let's do it, and then we'll inform just to get the blessing and the go ahead, and then that is also like a challenge.
Yeah.
But,
So, what did I want to say? I totally understand, because there was a point when I was the youngest teacher at school, and I was vibrant and I had so many ideas, and I was just like, wait, internet's acting up a little bit, right? Is it my side or your side?
I think it's your side.
Oh man. Let me see what's going on. Oh, it's fine. Okay, just let me know when it starts to act up again.
Okay.
So yeah, as I was saying, I was the youngest teacher at school, and I was vibrant, and I had so many brilliant ideas, and I was gonna make a difference. And then you just get there, it's like, make a difference with what, because like 5 minutes into your lesson, 5 students are not in the class because they're out looking for chairs. There isn't enough chairs. They're out looking for desks, and it's just very chaotic and sad. Um, so I had to break a lot of barriers to get what I wanted. I had to dig deep into my pocket to get what I wanted. Um, and I was limited in some ways, but thank God that I managed. So I understand what you were going through. And then also, I mean, the teachers at my school really did try their best, and they cared about students and stuff like that. But there were certain things that were still going on that I was just thinking to myself, man, we're wasting our time on this. Like, for example, I think it used to be a rule that hairpiece is not allowed, right? And then you would find that um, I think the first 2 days of school, like maybe after like school vacation and school holidays and stuff, when the girls come back, they have new hairstyles, and for me it was whatever. The students are here, it's whatever. Yes, the colors I understand, because kids can go wild with their colors. But if it's black and it's hairpiece, I'm just like, what's the big deal? So then the kids, like, they would be asked to like skip the first period, to undo their hair, like all of that. And I was just like, oh my goodness, this is so unnecessary. This rule is so outdated. Like, what are we doing, But I felt like that was not my battle, so I never really did fight that. But there were certain things where I was just like, okay, I said to my students, hey, respect, but this is how we're going to do it, and we found loopholes and stuff like that. So I wonder sometimes if I'll ever be that kind of teacher who does not want change, who will not embrace change. I don't want to be.
You don't want to be.
Because when you've been in the system for too long, you're used to things working a certain way, and when they change, it's uncomfortable,
Yeah, change is uncomfortable, really. But we need to embrace it. Like, we need to deal with it and accept with the one way or another. This will change. Like, it won't remain the same forever.
They shouldn't.
So yeah, it
and
should
how
be.
about the curriculum? Do you feel like it's still relevant? You just answered my question. Okay.
There's a lot, man. There's a lot that needs to be looked into with our curriculum. Typical example. Do we still write letters? Not really.
No, not really.
But you find that now we need to teach, okay, I understand. Okay, maybe we can teach our learners how to write a letter, just so that they know. okay, letter ibhalwa kanjani, friendly letter and a formal letter, but we can't just keep our focus on that. Do you understand? Like 50% of the time we need to focus on that. Why are we still focusing on that much? But when it comes to things like, okay, how do you draft an email? You know, it's something engati bavele by squeeze inside your caps, you know, it's okay, and then yeah, you can do this, you know, but then we moving, you know, one way or another, they'll have to send an email or many different emails. But then how do I do that if I don't even know how to greet formally with email? Or what do I say in my first paragraph in my email? You know, I don't even know what is to CC someone, but then I know how to write a letter. Where am I going to use that skill? That, okay, now I'm writing a letter to Opalesa, my friend. You know, now this is the format of the letter.
When we have WhatsApp, what in the world are you writing a letter for?
Exactly. Do you see what I'm saying? It's okay. What's the purpose of it? So I like, there's a lot, man. There's a lot that needs to be twitched and yeah, tailor for the coming generation. I mean, we're moving to like your technology and whatnot. We need to incorporate that with our like traditional subjects and whatnot.
Yeah. And at what grade do you start teaching kids how to send an email?
We do have it in grade 9, but then like I said, ungati
it was squeezed in. Yeah,
it was squeezed in. Okay, you can also do this if you have time, you know, but
in grade 8 do they do it?
I'm not sure if they do it in grade 8. I'm not sure what they
I say that because we teach our kids in grade 2 how to send an email.
You see, this is what I'm talking about.
So I can communicate with my grade 2s via email.
You see what I'm talking about. I
have kids in grade 1 that are probably well equipped with technology than I am. Sometimes I'm just pressing the remote going like, why is this not working? Press here, press here, and press here. So yeah.
You see, so we need that. Please can you please bring a curriculum and then let's do something. Let's do something about it.
I wonder if it costs money to change the curriculum. I'm wondering if maybe that's why they haven't done it. Maybe it does. The textbooks that need to be, you know, printed, distributed, you know.
But I feel like even if it costs money, like it's a good investment.
It is.
It's a good investment. You know, they had this thing. I would say they're going to introduce coding in all public schools, I think, which I think it's also a good thing.
But do they have the equipment?
They have to work towards it. I think that's why it's taking so long, because I know that other schools have e-coding already, but it's just a few. So I think that would be awesome.
Okay, so slowly but surely, because I remember in grade 5 or 6, I started learning how to type, and we had typing tests. So maybe slowly but surely we'll get there.
Yeah.
I
have hope.
I'm thinking about this now, you know, when we're talking about the cost of change. And I remember teaching my students back in South Africa, and you know, it was like free this, free stationery, free uniform, free fees, free schooling, free transportation, and for kids it's free. But at the back of my head, I'm like, nothing is ever free. Somebody else is paying for this. We just don't know. Well, we know taxpayers are paying for it, and there's probably, you know, a bunch of sponsors and stuff. But this whole notion of kids believing that they could get things for free, I think is going to get us into trouble.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because you don't really value what you just get for free most of the time,
Yeah.
you know. And um yeah, yeah. You see, with some of the kids like that we have at school, like you have bright kids, like I'm born with a law, a student, you know, but I don't know. I don't know if they're lazy or it's the free thing that has gotten into their head. But with the push, you could see with okay, this person, kahle kahle,
Capable.
a student,
Mm.
kahle kahle. But yeah,
But I mean, but you are the product of your surroundings. So if you have an A student surrounded by B, C students, and there is no incentive for that A student, they're treated like the other students, then
yeah,
they don't have the drive to keep pushing. Um, I got into trouble. I remember this other time when I posted something about, I think it was marijuana being legalized in South Africa, and I was so mad about that. Because I'd seen, the negative impact that is done, like in my school, to be exact.